having this vision. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. For the nation, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags. I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my fish. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change.
You're watching the Corona Post Show here at Barra De La Cruz in Huatulco in the state of Oaxaca in Mexico. What a place to be a surfer, even just a tourist. There's a lot of great art, great culture, great food. Our favorite, the tacos, because there's so many varieties. As Mitchell's been teaching us throughout the last few days, waves are still firing as we had that classic event, the Quicksilver Icon surf session, which was amazing to see the Wright brothers out there. Mikey did the tribute to AI with the double grab. That was amazing. Gave me goosebumps seeing him pull that one down, and obviously a great job to Caroline Marks. But a massive day to really reflect on in the elimination round of the round of 32. Joe with Mitch and also Kaipo. Starting with you, Mitch, what's really standing out as your favorite moment of a very big day today?
The big win from Rio Waida, the wild card, knocking out current number 3 in the world, Felipe Toledo. He was my power surfer. He was my pick to win the event. And he's also my pick to win the world championship this year. And this just changes the whole dynamic of the rest of the year, Joe.
Kaipo, what about the waves today compared to yesterday into today? Was that real?
Yesterday we thought it was good. Today, epic. Today, even better. And we're going to get into Surfline forecast, I'm sure, at some point. But it looks like it may even get a little bit better, Joe.
You had some great chats today too. The vibe was real. I mean, how are you and Kelly today? He's in like a different space. He's so happy and ripping.
I love a happy goat. It's really fun, and he always tends to drop some knowledge, but has a good time at it. And I like to see his motivation right now. I think he's really going to be a contender to maybe take out a win here.
Well, I like you guys' thoughts there. Happy goat's a good goat for the tour as well. But going first with your thoughts, Mitch, Rio Waida. This kid just competed in the Olympic Games. That was huge for Indonesia. Things just kept getting better for Rio in his probably favorite summer of his life as he eliminates your power surfer and your pick for the win, Felipe Toledo.
Yeah, and it was based off of the 2 scores that he had in the mid-range. Felipe had the best way of the heat, an 8.0, and just couldn't get a backup. His backup was a low score of a 2, and then Rio had this opportunity in the last 60 seconds, made it count, got the win at the end.
He came in shaking. He was so excited. He was visibly shaking from that moment. So it's a turning point in this young professional's life.
And gigantic for the final 5. I mean, Felipe was meant to win this event with what he can do on right-hand point breaks, number 3 seed out. I was mixing it up with the Brazilian Storm, and they were watching in the Red Bull Athlete Zone. And they're going, why isn't he flexing who he is? He was almost protecting something against a wild card who hasn't proven himself yet at this stage. So I think the Brazilians were kind of baffled to see Toledo go down carrying that 8-point ride as well.
If they're the other guys in the top 5 and right outside of it, I think they need to be stoked, though. If you're Kanoa right now, you need to be pretty happy that even though you lost early out in the round, you saw Felipe lose. Morgan Ciblic is probably super happy right now because he's number 4 right behind Felipe. And you know who's the happiest out of all of them is the guy who's at number 1 because he's probably not going to be able to catch him in time for Tahiti as well.
A lot of stories in that final 5, and actually one guy that's saying he has a chance, believe it or not, in the final 5 in 2 events remaining. The GOAT, the happy GOAT, Kelly Slater, in form, saying he could still win a world title this year. Kaipo, is that true?
Of course. It's Kelly. He's already done the math, okay? So he's realized. He was running the math today, all the different scenarios. He comes up, he gets through his heat, and he goes, you know what? If I win this event and I win Tahiti, there's a chance I could end up at lower Trestles.
And that's how he always has thought. And so when he starts using that math and thinking about the situations, you pay attention, especially when he's laying down, in my mind, some of the biggest turns out the back that we saw all day in the round of 32.
Yeah, there was one wave where you thought when we were in the athlete zone, you could have gone excellent, right, Joe? 6.83 ended up being the best turn outside, in my opinion, too, in this second day of competition.
Let me inject an opinion. I think the judges were a little stingy today with Kelly Slater. I think Kelly Slater may have deserved a little bit higher numbers in his heat. I mean, he got through the heat anyway. I think some of those waves may have been lowballed just a little bit.
I think that's a great call. I actually, like we referenced before, I was expecting a bigger score. They were rewarding big first turns all day. Obviously, a lot of them above the lip for airs and obviously slob variations. But when you have a power hack that committed, the entire rail of that surfboard engaged, you've got to give that a bigger score than a 6.83.
I understand where you guys are coming from, but I also understand where they're going. And I just think there were so many scores, especially Felipe's 8. Like, I'm not trying to be controversial here, Kaipo. I'm just stating
what you're doing
my
right
opinion. Go back to comparison
No,
of scores.
that's why we had you sit in the middle. Fair enough, Mitch. Continue. So you thought it was a fair balance. Pupo looked sharp as well.
Look, he ended up winning the heat. That's all that matters, really. And he made a statement at the end when you interviewed him. Hey, what do you think about going up against Idolov? I don't care. I'm trying to win this event. He should be scared of me.
In fantasy surf, scores matter.
Oh, he's flexing again. Kaipo, number 6 in the world with Fantasy Surfer. A lot of us took a big hit losing Toledo, those top seeds. Kelly would be a great pick as well if you have him on your squad because he is surfing as a 49-year-old. It's just beyond our minds.
Yeah.
And he's been blowing our minds for 30 years. But I just love that the GOAT still provides.
Yeah. El Chivo Feliz, a happy goat, is that in Spanish. Kaipo, I know you like that. And, dude, this is a guy who I think, if he gets the lowers, being the most winningest surfer of all time at lower Trestles, he actually has a great chance if he makes it.
Really cool to set up scenarios and a lot of great heats that we enjoyed watching in the round of 32. Before we got there, we had to do some dirty work in the elimination round. No one likes to be a part of the ER. It's caused the most nerves. We saw the women hit the lineup. It was very aggressive and heavily favored for Nichols and Callahan. But we love that Regina Pioli got to represent Huatulco, and she showed a lot of improvement from yesterday and also into today's action.
Yeah, we saw the difference in, obviously, competitive experience between the two Australians and Regina, but a solid performance from her, better to scores from yesterday. And Kaipo, I mean, she's got to be stoked with what we saw right here from her.
I agree.
Yeah, really solid. I felt like Pioli really passed the torch to Detmers. You know, if you're third in this heat, you're out of the contest. Shelby Detmers representing Mexico. She began in the 4 range, kind of where Pioli left off, but it was kind of a runaway heat as well for Andrew. And another stellar performance from Erickson with a 7.5.
Yeah, I'd like to see Sage get in form. She's here with an old friend of mine, Jim Hogan, in her corner to support her as a coach. Yeah, I was actually pleased with what I saw in the women's elimination round. I think the plot's gonna thicken as we go into the round of 16 for the women.
I agree. Sage has been very aggressive, even though she wanted to get the win in the seeding round. She kind of opened that up to social media last night. She came down with even more aggression with that big 7.5. We're going to take a quick break here on the Corona Post Show. When we come back, we will go through the top 5 moments of the day. You're watching the Corona post show here on day 2 of competition. The Surfline forecast is letting us know that we've had a rapid fire waves and we haven't had a day off, and it looks like that theme's going to remain the same. How are we looking for tomorrow, Mitch?
Yeah, tomorrow looks like another great day. Great direction, a lot more south than there is west in the swell, which is great here for Barra. But one thing that I particularly like, winds are light tomorrow as well. We see 5 to 7 feet, 15 seconds a period swell, and even on Friday, 16 period swell right there, but just drops a little bit. Winds still in the offshore though.
Really cool to see the next couple of days looking very promising. Jessie Miley-Dyer did say she's looking closely at a big day tomorrow and also a big day Friday. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we always got to wake up and check it in the dark. Today was incredibly rippable and really one of my favorite days all year, Kaipo.
Wow, that means a lot because you've been at every single event this year. You know what, though? The overlapping format, the performances, the wave quality, the upsets, everything made for just a really, really entertaining day of surfing.
Well, it was crazy. I mean, it made it my favorite day. Andino, Kanoa, back and forth seesaw battle that was decided on the sand. And that's what you want to see on this level. And for athletes, that's what they dreamed of being a part of, surfing world-class waves when both their competitors are 100% to go blow for blow. Doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't, and waves showed up, surfing showed up, and most importantly, it just seems like everybody knows that they need a result right here in the second to last event of the year. People are looking to requalify, people are looking to get into WSL Final 5. Everything happened here on day number 2, Joe.
Final 5, I've been loving your articles on WorldSurfLeague.com. Things really shook up, where we had Kolohe really invested in Griffin Colapinto's position at 5th, knocked out Kanoa, who's 6th, and then Griffin upset at the end of the day by Mateus Hurdy. When is your next article coming out, Kaipo?
It'll be before Tahiti. We'll do another Final 5 prediction. But still, I'm staying solid with my Final 5. I still believe in Morgan Siblick. And I know there's been a lot of there's been conversation about it, like, Kaipo, you're crazy. But guess what? I'm not. The guy's still blowing up. He's still doing his thing.
There's been a lot of talk for good reason, but I've been really enjoying your articles on WorldSurfLeague.com. From the Final 5, we go to the top 5 moments of the day. Coming at number 5 on the list, we're going with the local hero, Johnny Corzo. Enjoyed his time in the water, but I don't know if he really enjoyed this time on the beach on the runaround. Johnny said this dog was trying to attack him, Mitch.
I thought it was actually a little bit of a motivation. I thought the dog actually wanted a little bit of pet when he was running around, but it seems like it was actually trying to bite his leash the whole time.
First time I saw Johnny, he said, that dog was actually trying to bite me up until he was trying to get back into the water to compete. Trying to fend it off. That earns number 5 spot for sure. Number 4, special moment, Jeremy Flores, Kaipo, 200th heat win in his career.
200th heat win, and probably my favorite interview of the entire day. Jeremy Flores just letting loose. We always know that Jeremy's always just spoken straight from his heart. He doesn't hold anything back. That's why we love J-Flow and Jezza. Just with another classic performance. We're going to see him in the round of 16.
Number 3, Morgan Siblick in that Final 5 talk. Looked incredibly strong today, Mitch.
Yeah, moved into the round of 16, 7.67, and as our score was right in the 7s too. Easily dominated a good friend of mine in Luca Messina's the Peruvian wildcard, and he showed why he's probably going to be the Rookie of the Year, and he could easily be the first male to win a championship in his rookie season as well.
So impressed with his power and control, and he's unflappable. When he hears the noise outside of, the CT saying, hey, oh, I don't know if he's good enough, this and that, and he continues to prove everybody wrong. Number 2 on the top 5, Ethan Ewing.
Let's just talk about style. Let's just talk about technique. Let's just talk about body mechanics. Let's just talk about Ethan Ewing and what he's did in this heat. This was beautiful surfing, okay? This was just sweet, syrupy, delicious dessert for your eyeballs and for your surfing motivation. Look at this stuff.
Tail slides on demand. His style just fits in so well here at Barra De La Cruz, and it just stopped everyone in their tracks when Ethan got up to his feet. And taking out the top 5, Medina's Gorkin flip to upset Perez on the final wave.
Yeah, we'd call this here in Mexico en el rolo. That's really what it was. Didn't go all the way around, so he didn't actually do the reverse when he landed, but back up against the wall, needed a 6.11 to take the lead against Michel, who had the highest wave of the heat. He had the 8.0. Medina got a 7.5 on this wave. Incredible.
I called it a rodeo, and I got a text from Kelly Slater. That's not a rodeo. Ha ha, by the way. And just so I know, I love that he's watching. And okay, yeah, the rodeo would have been a revert out of that. And so we're going to go with Gorkin flip. I think that was a better description.
Well, yeah, because I guess the difference between a rodeo and a Gorkin, when he comes out of that, he actually reverses.
Yes.
And he didn't reverse.
Yeah,
so
he
when he
spun
came
back.
out the other way, it was actually a version of a Gorkin, because Gorkin often landed forward. And there was just a little motion to recover. So I think closer to the Gorkin. Congrats, Aaron Cormican. I mean, he's doing those at lowers a long time ago. He deserves the credit for it.
Or we could go with rodeo revert. Let's just get things really, really complicated right now with naming tricks.
It was so
Rodeo
fun.
revert, yeah.
And that was at a minute to go. That wave didn't look like anything to start. That was just a miracle moment to watch the man wearing the Jeep Leaders jersey flex his way into the round of 16. We'll leave you with the highlights of day 2. Join us for the call on WorldSurfLeague.com tomorrow for the Corona Open Mexico presented by Quicksilver. It is a gorgeous morning as the sun's just starting to show light on one of the greatest right-hand point breaks in the world. Oh my goodness.
That's how you finish. 540 straight to the beach.
Que ya llegó el bandido, por todas las que me ha hecho, por todo este dolor, y por las que no me acuerdo, le dedico mi canción, canto pa' que no me duela, pues no quiero maldecir, pues nomás le dicen vuela y no se tarda en salir. Hoy agarro mi botella y me la pienso tomar, todos dicen que es por ella, vayan todos a volar. Ah, cómo me ha dolido y me la voy a aguantar, aunque acabe hecho un bandido, ya no le vuelvo a llorar.
Instant redemption for Kolohe Andino, taking out the silver medalist in Japan, Kanoa Igarashi.
This could be a buzzer beater for Connor Coffin. When he's done the work, sealing the deal, no doubt.
Toledo had a big 8-point ride. He never had a backup for it. Left the door open for Waida.
I seriously can't believe this, Joe.
Are you okay, Mitch?
This is my power surfer, and I think he just got eliminated.
Aunque acabe hecho un bandido. Aunque acabe hecho un bandido. Muchos dicen que la vida es un suspiro y que el tiempo todo puede resolver. Tantas veces lo que quiero es darme un tiro, pero no vale la pena esa mujer.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.